Assalamualaikum and hi to our lecturer, Madam Nur Ain and our fellow friends. Before we start to present our topic, I will introduce myself and my group members. Alright, my name is Nur Fazlina and my other members are Muhammad Al-Amin, Khairul Musfira, Humaira Fatiha and Nur Aisyah. So now I will pass to our first presenter to present our slides.
Assalamualaikum. I will go first with the history emergent Islam in Japan. Although many Muslim-minded historians only reached Japan in the 19th century, relations between Japan and Muslim countries have existed since the era of Abbasid rule. This is based on the existed a set of collections objects originating from Persia and the Middle East, belonging to the Emperor Shahmu, who ruled from 724 to 749 AD. Through diplomatic contact with the Turkish state, Islam grew in Japan in 1877 during the First World War. The people of Japan consider Islam as one of the religion teaching practiced by the people of the Western world. At the same time, story about the life of Prophet Muhammad SAW and the religion of Islam has begun to be translated into Japanese. These actions has helped Islam gain a place among the populations of Japan, even if only as a sign and culture of a world.
Next, I'm going to present about the development of Islam in Japan. Japanese-Muslim relations began through trade relations, as well as the spread of Islam has taken place in Japan through diplomatic relations between Japan and Turkey. Turkish-Japanese government relations began during the Ottoman era of rule Sultan Abdul Hamid II and Meiji Emperor at the end of 19th centuries. Sultan Abdul Hamid undertook various measures and negotiation to strengthen diplomatic relations between both countries. For example, the Turkish Ottoman government had sent several representatives to Japan via the voyage of the ship Ertugrul. Next, based on the example before, Turkey had received an official invitation from the Emperor Meiji to attend the imperial residence in Japan. Turkey sent the ship Ertugrul to Japan on peacekeeping mission, but on the way back to Turkey, unfortunately the ship sank near sea of the Japan. Ertugrul voyage to Japan was an effort to spread the Pan-Islamism movement to Japan. Pan-Islamism aims to unite the unity of Muslims around the world under the Ottoman Turkish government. In 1892, Torajiro Yamada and Shotaro Noda visited Turkey as representatives to give donation for the families of Ertugrul ship's crew. For your information, Torajiro and Shotaro Noda is delegation that Japan sent to Turkey. They are both converted into Islam after staying in Turkey for several years. The Islam name to Yamada is Abdul Khalil, while Shotaro Noda was named Abdul Halim. In 1906 as well, Islam showed its effect on Japanese society through Yamaoka and Bopachiro Ariga. Mitsutaro Yamaoka converted into Islam and performed his first Hajj at Mecca under the Islamic name Omar Yamaoka. At the same time, Bopachiro Ariga went to Bombay, India for business activity and embraced Islam under the influence of the local Muslim community in Bombay and was known by his Islamic name Ahmad Ariga. According to Abu Bakar 1980, both of them are said to be well-known Japanese Muslims in Japan. Upon their return to Japan, they began the mission of preaching Islam in Japan. Lastly, The Muslim community in Japan also began with the presence of immigrants from the Muslim countries of Central Asia and Russia who were protected by the Japanese government during the First World War. The mosque was built as a result of the cooperation and effort of the Muslim minority and charity at that time. And also Tokyo Mosque was built in 1938. That's all from me, thank you. And I will pass to the next presenter.
Next, I will present about Islamic figure in Japan. The first one is Shotaro Noda. Shotaro Noda is a young journalist in Japan. He was the first Japanese to convert to Islam in history. In 1891, he tried to collect donation to the family of the victim in a cargo ship that was hit by a strong storm and eventually sank after crashing in the rocky water off the east coast of Kiyoshima. While handing over donation to family of the victim in Istanbul, he met with an English Indian person named Abdullah Kuliram, which is also a Muslim. As a result of Abdullah Kuliram's missionary effort, Shotaro Noda decided to embrace Islam. He changed his name to Abdul Halim Noda. He was diligent in studying science of Al-Quran, Hadith, and the history of Islam in Istanbul. The second one is Yamada Torajiro. Torajiro Yamada was the second Japanese who converted to Islam in historical record after Shotaro Noda. He used the name Abdul Khalil Yamada after embracing Islam. Around 1892, Torajiro Yamada came personally to Istanbul to offer his condolences to the family of the victim of the Ertugrul ship. Sultan Abdul Hamid II then asked him to teach Japanese to his officials. While on duty in Istanbul, he converted to Islam. Next, Mitsutaro Yamaoka, or also known as Kotaro Yamaoka. Mitsutaro Yamaoka is a member of Pan-Asian Political Association called Kokukyukai. Kokukyukai was founded in 1901 and it was a Japanese organization that was very influential in spreading the message of greater Asianism against the threat of white people. Mitsutaro Yamaoka was the fourth individual who embraced Islam. He converted to Islam in Bombay, India, and his new Islamic name is Omar Yamaoka. Omar Yamaoka was the first Japanese Muslim to perform the pilgrimage. In December 1909, he and Mufti Abdul Rashid Ibrahim, a Muslim leader of Turkish descent and Tatar descent, left to perform the pilgrimage in Mecca. The last one is Umar Mita. Ryoichi Mita, or his Islamic name is Umar Mita, is descended from a traditional family of Buddhist samurai warriors in Yamaguchi Prefecture, Japan. He is a graduate of Yamaguchi Commercial College. He traveled to China, studied Chinese, and mingled with the Muslim community there. Impressed with the Muslim Chinese community way of life, he wrote a scholarly article on Islam in China for a well-known magazine in Japan. Ryoichi Mita once studied Islam with Omar Yamaoka. In 1941, at the age of 49, he converted to Islam at the mosque in Peking, China. Umar Mita traveled to Pakistan around the end of the 1950s at the age of 60. He traveled to Pakistan to study Arabic and Islamic study and was involved in various da'wah and public activity. In 1958, he performed the pilgrimage to Mecca. In 1960, he was appointed the second president of the Japanese Muslim Association, JMA. JMA is an organization that is only made up by the Japanese Muslim community that was originally established in 1952 under the name of the Islamic Friendship Association. Umamita has published several books and pamphlets on Islam in Japanese for general distribution.
Assalamualaikum. My name Muhammad Al-Amin bin Cima Fauzi, and I'm going to continue this presentation with challenges and problems faced by Muslims in Japan. So, for the first point, the challenges of cultural and social differences faced by Muslims in non-Muslim countries are very significant, especially in society in terms of nutrition, socialization, dress, and others. It is quite difficult for the Muslim minority to take care of their diet and find halal food because the majority of Japanese society practice a diet of pork and alcoholic beverages. In addition, the free attitude of non-Muslims in association make it difficult for Muslims to maintain the limits of their associations. For the second point, Muslims in Japan also face many challenges in Japanese society as a result of the negative image about Islam emerging. Misunderstandings about Islam among Japanese society today are due to inaccurate and altered delivery of news and information by the mass media. The information conveyed is mainly from the West, which intend to give a bad image of Islam in the mind of people all over the world. Because the majority of the Japanese community is not Muslim and lacks interacting and knowing Muslims deeply, it will be easy to retrieve false and bad information from the mass media. As a result, the stereotype portrayal of Islam as a violent, cruel, intolerant, and rigid religion finds a place among most Japanese society to this day. In addition, ignorance about Islam among the Japanese community also contributes to the lack of the contact with the Muslim community in Japan. Furthermore, Muslim immigrants who contribute to the percentage of the Muslim community working in Japan are concentrated in urban centers such as Hiroshima, Kyoto, Nagoya, Osaka, and Tokyo, making it difficult for the missionary effort through programs and activities to non-Muslims in other areas and districts. Last but not least, the problem of communicating in the local language made it difficult to communicate with the Japanese community. This is because the Muslim community choose to live in a community of the same religion and lead to the perception among non-Muslims that Muslims are difficult to approach. These challenges and problems are often faced by the Muslim community in Japan to this day.
Hi, my name is Nur Fazlina. In this slide, I will share about the everyday life Muslims in Japan. For your information, Muslims in Japan have widely retained their sense of religious and cultural identity and have generally been established as members of Japanese society. And many of the Japanese Muslims are converted women that marry with Muslim men. So now, the thing that Japanese Muslims do every day in Japan is when they are in the mosque. For your information, in 100 years ago, only 2 mosques were built, but now there are about 40 mosques in Japan. During the month of Ramadan, many Muslims come to the mosque in order to celebrate Eid with their fellow Muslims, where Muslims gather, Islamic study session, worship, socialize, marriage, and so on. Next up is at work. Muslims who pray 5 times a day for 10 minutes will find it difficult to adjust to their original culture, where constant hard work in the workplace is expected and highly valued. So, the easy way for them is to perform prayers after working hours that may be missed during working hours. This means they can collect their missed prayer times. So, in this way, many Muslims have managed to adhere to both Japanese and Muslim lifestyles. Next, they face problems finding halal food, such as for children in schools and a limited number of halal shops per day. And women, both foreign Muslims and Japanese Muslims, also face the issue of wearing hijabs and cloth covers in their daily lives. And lastly, in their daily lives is that the issue of graveyards occurs when the custom of the Japanese is to burn corpses, whereas the Muslims do not. Although there are few Muslims in Japan, Japanese society today generally accepts them as members of Japanese society. For the most part, Japanese people have accepted their cultural differences as an aspect of a colorful world and have come to understand that this culture is actually not much different from their own culture. So, in conclusion, in Japan now shows the increase in Muslim tourists has positively influenced the perception of Islam and Muslims in Japan. As the presence of Muslims in Japan increases, whether tourists or Japanese people who have converted to Islam, shops selling halal food are increasingly being built, and women wearing hijab, they are considered common and accepted by many people. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.